guest on Let's Talk today is Brandi Hodges of the Craighead Jonesboro Regional Library. Brandi, welcome to Let's Talk.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us what's going on. I know there's a lot of cool things happening with the library.
Well, in the start of the year this year, we are doing a lot of changes on the interior of the library. So those who have visited us, if I can speak correctly, in the beginning of the year would have noticed a lot of furniture's been moved around, a lot of our books are in different places, but you'll notice as you come into the library at the end of January, end of February and March, there's all new flooring that's going down in our library. So we're just giving it a little bit of a facelift. We do that in our own homes sometimes, right. And so you just have to think of the library as it's a home for all the books and the DVDs and magazines that live there. So we're just making a few changes, but it's for the betterment of the library, and it'll look a lot nicer when we're finished with it. And
you're giving the library what it wants and what it needs, because that's a wonderful place. Sometimes underutilized, but we do. It's very important to people in Jonesboro.
And I want to point out that you said underutilized. I was going through statistics from 2017 because I'm working on a project to show people differences throughout the years. And about 40,000 people who live in Craighead County have library cards.
That's
and
great.
I want that number to go up, though.
Yes.
So,
yes.
You know, people don't realize a lot of times that getting a library card costs you nothing.
It is the easiest thing to get, and it's the rewards are incomparable.
We have books, of course.
Yes.
You can come and check out books. We have, in 2017, we had just under 200,000 material in the library. And that's a lot of books and DVDs and CDs and things that we have, as well as electronic resources. I'm told that our numbers from 2017 to 2018 as far as ebook downloads has significantly risen, and that's wonderful. A lot of people are still buying ebooks, which I'm not, saying don't do that. Sure, buy ebooks, but a lot of people just don't realize that we have them. We have them and they're free.
You have good books. You have books to read, and they are free. I've noticed. I have a sister who is one of your best customers, so to speak.
We like that.
And the beautiful thing is, it's not a customer. This is a great country that can provide such and so many good libraries, and Jonesboro is working hard to be the best in Arkansas. And one thing you're doing is opening a new branch.
We are. For those who don't know, we have 7 branches. We have branches in both Poinsett and Craighead counties. So we have Jonesboro, which is our main branch. It's where everything is funneled in and out of. So when we order books for both our library and the branches, they first come to our library to be cataloged and then to be sent on their way. So we have branches in Poinsett and Craighead counties. We're adding another Craighead County branch in Brookland. So the city of Brookland has a building, and half of it will be a museum and half of it will be the new library. So we're hoping that will be opening sometime in the late spring, early summer time of the year here in 2019. So adding an 8th branch is just going to be a benefit to the people who live in this area.
That's very nice. That's very nice, because you're accessible, and because, and to backtrack a little bit, one thing that I know that you do is offer computer resources to people, but not just the computers. You don't have to go and figure everything out. You have human beings who assist people when they're trying to find jobs, when they're trying to find how to get certain services, things they need.
Yes, we have different numbers of computers in each of our branches. Of course, Jonesboro, we have the most space, so we have the most computers. We have computers in our adult area that are just for adults. We have computers in our teens that are just for teens, and then we have computers in our children's library that are for children or for adults who have children with them. And so it's a great area where if you just want to get on social media, you can do that. If you need to apply for jobs, that's something you can do. If you need to send emails, communicate. We also have free Wi-Fi in all of our branch libraries and our Jonesboro library. So say you work during the day and you don't have internet at home, because many people don't, maybe they can't afford it, maybe it's not something they want to have in their homes, but you have this need to go and either send an email or communicate with someone via text message or anything you need to do, our Wi-Fi is on even after hours. And so if, say, you work during the day and you really need to use that, but you're like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to make it to the library before they close, you don't have to. You can sit in your car outside of our buildings and still use our Wi-Fi.
My goodness.
So
that's wonderful.
That's something that we offer. Speaking of Wi-Fi, say you work out of your home or you work out of your office, but you don't need to go to your office. Maybe your office is in Blytheville or Memphis and you don't want to stay local. You can bring your computer, your laptop, or your tablet, or even your phone into our library, and we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so we added more study rooms in the library that have doors that close. They have 1, 2, 4 chairs in them, so if you need to have a small meeting, even if you just need to work on your business, you can use our Wi-Fi, you can have a private space, and you can do that. Say you need to have a larger meeting. We have 3 meeting spaces you can book. We have our round room, our civic league room, and our William Shakespeare room that you can book at the library.
That's very good. I would feel a little intimidated using the Shakespeare room.
It's a fun room.
It's cool.
It is. We have 7 new study rooms as well as the Shakespeare room that we named them all after well-known authors, and they also have a quote on the door from that author.
Wonderful. Brandi, why don't you guys have a bookmobile?
Well, we had one around the 50s, 60s era, but we are adding one. We haven't had one for several years, and we've seen the need for it in our communities. Not everyone can make it to the library. You know, some people work not just 1, but maybe 2 jobs.
Right.
Some people don't have adequate access to transportation. You know, so we want to do everything we can to make the library something that you can use, that everyone can use. And so we are adding a bookmobile. We worked really hard to say what we wanted in it, what kind of shelving we needed, what kind of access to a TV and things like that we needed. And so we have a company that is building the bookmobile right now, and hopefully this spring, early summer, it'll be rolling down the streets of Jonesboro. We have a committee that's working to determine where it will go and when it will go to the certain places. So even, you know, maybe you're in a neighborhood in Jonesboro and you think, I want to be included in that, you know, you could always give us a call and let us know, hey, you know, I really think that's a great thing and I'd love to see it in my neighborhood. Because we may not, we're going to look at maps and we're going to look at where housing areas are and different schools and different facilities are, but, you know, you may give us an idea that we didn't have.
And that's cool that you say that. I mean, I was really giving you a volleyball to spike and you nailed it.
Thank you.
But at the same time, the fact that you can call and kind of request the bookmobile to be in your area or at your school or
our committee is going to work really hard to determine where it needs to go, but you know, we don't want to miss out on anybody. And
Brandi, that's what makes our library special, is because you guys are such hard workers and so service oriented. That's customer service. You know, that's something my mayor stresses from the people of the city, and I think you guys have the same priority.
Well, the whole purpose of having a library is to provide that free service. So you'll notice with what we do, we not only have access to the books and the DVDs and the CDs and the magazines and the newspapers, but we also provide events and activities because we want you to come see us. You know, we love it when people come and, you know, come in on their lunch break or come in on their way home and check out materials. But we want you to come and see us and take part in one of our events. You know, we have programs that we hold for kids, teens, adults, people of all ages. We have all age events that we hold twice a year, art and craft fairs on the lawn. We try to do everything we can to provide free service for the people who live in our area. You know, maybe you can't afford or don't want a gym membership.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to find time to try to go to the gym, but if I'm going to the library anyway to check out some books, We have 4 free exercise classes we offer every single week.
Oh my goodness.
That's for adults that we do that. We have book clubs that meet. We have 4 different book clubs that meet once a month. We have so much that we do, because if you're like me and you like to read, I love to read, and then you want to talk to someone about it.
Right.
You know, you can't just approach just anybody and tell them about this book that they don't really care to hear about. You have a book club.
That's right.
And you can all read together, and they want to hear from each other.
Yeah.
So we offer so many opportunities for people to be a part of our library that the Bookmobile is just one more step in providing that free service to people who maybe can't come to us.
That's wonderful. And you have new programs that are coming up. I know every season you've got different programs. Can you tell us a little bit about your programs?
I can. So we do offer after-school programs for children up to 12 years old. A lot of them are school-age designated programs. Those programs, I have to look down because we've changed the times. They run from 4:30 until 5:30. So each Monday, you can bring your kiddos in after school. That gives you a little chunk of time, an hour and a half after they get out of school. A lot of kids, we understand, have extracurricular activities. They have soccer, they have basketball, they have dance. They do all of these wonderful things.
Sure.
But if you have time to bring them to the library, we are going to be doing Master Builders on Mondays. So we'll bring out Legos, we'll bring out Lincoln Logs, we'll bring out different things that they can use to build with.
And that's for kids only. I don't need.
I know.
I can't get excited.
So many things that I would love to do. On Tuesdays, we're going to be doing Tabletop Tuesdays. So that could be board games, that could be video games, it could be just anything you can do on a tabletop. And we have a lot of board games that, you know, a lot of the board games, my favorites are like Hungry Hungry Hippo from when I was little, and we do have that one. But we also have a lot of games that are more science and critical thinking. So they're going to learn things while they're playing.
They're accidentally learning.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Then on Wednesdays, we're going to do Keep Calm and Color On. So we'll just put out different themed coloring sheets, and the kids can just go to town.
You guys are creative.
We're going to do Boredom Busters on Thursdays, just different things that the kids can do, DIY stuff, just to, you know, get them out of their almost end of the week rut that we sometimes get in, even kids. And then I'm not going to play favorites, but I really get excited about Extreme STEAM. You know, so many things have been focused on science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Those are great fields that kids can grow up and go into the business of.
That's their future.
And so we're doing Extreme STEAM. We got these amazing robots last year called Autobots. They're about the size of a quarter. They're about an inch tall, and children use markers of specific colors, black, green, red, and blue, to draw pathways. So they're coding on construction paper and telling the robots what to do. And so that's part of our STEAM activities that we're going to do. So if you have a kiddo who, that's a wide range of engineering, you know, STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. There's a lot in there. And so if you have a kiddo that would be interested in that, a little after-school learning, bring them to Extreme STEAM or any of our after-school activities.
Awesome. That's awesome. Tell me about your volunteers. Do you have too many volunteers right now? Could you use more volunteers?
We could always use more volunteers. Let me tell you what our volunteers do. In some instances, we're a big building with lots of shelves.
Very much.
And just like all of our homes, we get dusty. And so sometimes we have volunteers who come in and help us dust the shelves. Sometimes what a lot of our volunteers do is cut things out. And I know that may seem like, well, Brandi, do you need that many things cut out? We go to a lot of daycares twice a month now. We used to do once a month. We go twice a month. Each child in each of those classrooms gets a craft. And those crafts have to be individually hand cut out.
I see.
And so we always need help doing that. And so if you have a student who needs some service hours, or if you just have some extra time on your hands and you would like to help the library out, you can stop by the library, go to the children's library, and they can get you set up as a volunteer to help cut things out in the summer. So if you have a teenager who is looking for something to occupy their time over the summer that they would like to volunteer, we always take volunteers in the summer to help with, we do a lot in the summer, so we always take volunteers to help us with that as well.
Very cool. Now, what about donors? I mean, do you guys have too much money?
A public library can never have too much money. So we do always accept donations. We always also have the Friends of the Library, which is a nonprofit organization that works. They're outside of the library, but they help us so much. When I say that, they're like a separate entity. You know, they're a 501c3. They have the bookshop within the library that they take donations all the time. So say you're doing something I never do and clean out your book collection. I love my books and they're my friends. But, you know, say you're wanting to get rid of some books or you're moving and you can't take everything with you, you can donate them to the library. We can provide you with a tax receipt. So if you itemize your taxes, you can take them off, your donation off your taxes. But those books go into this bookshop. I am a very constant purchaser of those things. I love getting magazines because they sell them for 10 cents a magazine.
Oh my.
And so I can get magazines and then I just redonate them. I read them, get recipes that I want or whatever out of them, and then I redonate them. And so you can do that as well. Bring your books, your gently used books. Sometimes a book is donated that we're like, oh, we could use that in the collection.
I bet that's
But
true.
a lot of times, most of the time they go to our bookshop and that money goes back into the library to fund programs and services that we provide.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful.
But just donations. So say you have someone you want to do a book in honor of, or you want to make a donation in honor of someone, or you just want to donate to the library. We always accept those type of donations as well.
That's wonderful. So many things going on, so many good things that we take for granted at our library. Brandi, is there anything else we need to cover today?
I did want to talk about teens for just a moment. Our
Please
teen
do.
library is making a change it's going to be very beneficial to our teens. School libraries have done this, have seen a huge increase in the checkouts of materials. We are genrifying. It's a fun word. Genrifying our library. We have taken our collection in our teen area and we have divided it up among various genres. So say you like to read horror books, don't sign me up for that, but say you really like to read horror fiction.
Right.
Those have a little red sticker on the outside of them and they're all together. We also have dystopian and historical fiction, and we have realistic fiction and romance fiction. So we've taken the entire teen collection, and our teen librarian, Miss Jessica, has gone through and put all of the books in a category. And now on all of our shelves, those categories are all together. And so when you come, our teens, they know they like to read dystopian fiction. So they can go directly to that collection and they can pick their books out from there. I want to point out to, if any teens are watching or their parents or their grandparents or anyone in their lives, we have our teen book club, our teen gaming day. We do ACT prep testing. We also have Random Fandom Friday, which is held on the last Friday of the month, that a different fandom, teen inspired, is chosen, and the teens get to come and watch a movie, or they get to watch different cartoons or manga or anime or whatever it is that they want to do. We have a theme, and Miss Jessica will make food and all sorts of things, but we need more teens. We always do. That's always the hardest group to get to come in the library because they're at that in-between age. They're very busy.
And they don't know what they're missing out on.
They don't know what they're missing out on. We also are always looking for that even 20 to 30, 35 group. You know, they'll bring their kids a lot of times to our story time and different things, but then maybe they don't utilize the library for the services that we offer. So we just want to encourage everyone, give the library a second look. Just, you know, come and visit us. Give us a try. Any activities, any programs that we have can always be found on our website, which is libraryinjonesboro.org. That's libraryinjonesboro.org. We also have our Facebook page, facebook.com/ccjpl, our Craighead County Jonesboro Public Library page. I post events on there where you can click interested or going and be reminded via your phone or whatever device you have to come to our programs. I like to do that personally because my phone reminds me, hey, you have an event coming up. But we try to do everything we can to make people aware of what we have going on. You can call 870-935-5133 or visit 315 West Oak Avenue.
Wonderful. Just it's always refreshing to talk to Brandi and the people from the library because it just makes you remember how much you can do if you're in need of something or if you're just bored. It's the best place to solve it. Probably one of the best places in town to solve boredom.
Everything we have is my favorite word, free. Yeah. And that's my favorite thing to remind people is they hear all the things we do, but they don't remember always that it's free. We have knitting classes, we have exercise classes, we have book clubs. We have so much going on, as well as access to our free meeting spaces. So if you have a business and you're like, oh my goodness, I've got customers coming in, we don't allow anyone to sell anything in our meeting spaces, but say you have you need to do things where you're not selling a product or service, but you need to have a meeting.
Right.
You can use our spaces for free. You call Miss Jordan, and she'll book the space for you.
Very nice. That's fabulous. Brandi, thank you for taking the time to visit with us on Let's Talk Jonesboro.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Great.